everybody from Brasov in the center of Romania. Brasov is in the Transylvania region of the country, and it's also in the southern Carpathian Mountains, which is why if you come here in the wintertime, you'll probably see a very snowy and mountainous landscape around, and also snow inside the city as well. But today is a nice and sunny winter day, which is why there's a lot of people out and about here in the historic center and here in the main square where I am, because it's also near Christmas time and you got the Christmas market setting up here. So if it's a nice day plus a holiday plus a weekend and whatever day that families are out and about, you'll see a lot of people here. Brasov is not a very big city, but it's not a small village either. It does have about 250,000 people, and it is the main town of the region here. It's got a nice little historic center, which we will begin our visit by walking around. The first thing that I'm not entirely sure we'll be able to see is the Tampa Mountain, which is right next to Brasov. You can see it from pretty much anywhere in the city, and in fact it even has a big sign that says Brasov, just in case you forget where you are. For now, let's walk around here in the historic center and just admire this little old town here. The local economy of Brasov definitely has, to some extent, some reliance on tourism, but of course it is a bit of an early development tourism, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because compared to a lot of well-established tourist places in Western Europe that are overpriced and over-touristed and all of that, here you don't have to deal with all of that. Here the prices are still pretty affordable, and you see tourists and visitors and people out and about, but it's not so overrun. I mean, even if you come here in the summertime, from what I've heard, okay, you can still enjoy it without being basically completely surrounded by mobs of other tourists. In general, one of the things that I actually prefer about traveling towards the eastern side of Europe rather than in the western side of Europe, the areas here are a little less well known, a little more interesting, and also less over touristed, so that even when you visit a place that generally, okay, it's known by a lot of Romanians as a nice place to visit, and there is a lot of domestic tourism here, it's still not over touristed like a similar type of place would be in a Western European country. And let me show you guys where I'm staying here in Brasov, because it is kind of an interesting place. It's called Safrano Palace, and it's very conveniently located right across the street from the main square, so really hard to miss. When you come in here, it's a bit interesting because after you go through the lobby, then you're back outside in between the buildings here. The room that they gave me here is on the ground floor, so let me show you guys what it looks like. Just come right in here, and it's a nice simple little room here. You've got a bed here, which, I mean, it's okay, not too bad, you know, kind of typical average level of comfort for me. And little desk here, workspace, of course, since I work remotely, have to use it as a workspace, so that's nice if you need to use a workspace while you're here. There is a little mini bar here, which, of course, like hotel mini bars everywhere, the stuff inside is more expensive than it will be if you go to any mini market down the street. Then you come up to here, you have a little coat rack up in here, and you also have this closet up in here. So, you know, place to store some things. And then the bathroom here, which is a very, you know, sort of nice and shiny looking bathroom here. It looks like it's pretty freshly done. But, you know, just a basic bathroom like what you'd need here. Nice shower area here, toilet, sink, and, you know, nice, clean, shiny, mold-free looking walls. The one criticism I would have is it is very, very hot in here. You would think, being on a lower floor here in the winter with the temperatures being sub-freezing outside, that it would be a cold room, but actually quite the opposite. It is quite hot in here. Hello everybody from the following day here in Brasov, Romania. It is a warmer and nicer day today. I mean, despite the wind. It's actually quite a warmer wind compared to yesterday. I figured, well, since the snow has melted and things are a little bit easier for doing stuff outside, I would go up to the Tampa Mountain. It's nice and clear today, so we'll get a nice view of the city from up there. There was some snow melt. The trail is very, very muddy. So, and I don't really have the right shoes for trekking in the mud for like an hour up a mountain. So since the cable car is running, we'll go get in line and take the cable car in. This is the sign, the Brasov sign that you can see from down in the old part of Brasov. So you get up here, you can walk behind it, of course, really carefully if it's wintertime and there's snow and ice. Right next to the sign, there's a nice little observation point. So if you have a nice day like today, yeah, it's worth it to kind of come up and take the view. Accidentally came up upon this little back street here that goes along this stream. It's like behind the road that runs up along the edge of the old town where you have the big square in the middle of. It's called Strada Dupa Ziduri. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It goes back here behind the buildings here and also kind of opens up to a little park. And then you got this tower up here that's not too high up. I think it's called the White Tower from what I can remember someone telling me earlier. This is where I will end this simple little travel vlog to this nice little mountain town of Brasov in the Carpathian Mountains in the Transylvania region of Romania. A nice little place that is really beautiful. I can see why many people say it's the most beautiful town in Romania. I mean, I haven't explored much of this country yet. So far from what I see, yes, it is a really nice looking town. Definitely don't miss it if you come to Romania. If you spend a little more time than I have here, then yeah, it could be worth it to go outside of Brasov and see some of the places nearby, including Bran Castle, which is the famous Dracula castle. Sorry to disappoint those of you that were hoping I might have gone up there, but that is nearby here, so you would come to Brasov in order to see that. But there's still more than enough to see and do here, even without doing that specifically. So we'll say goodbye for now. Stay tuned so you can see where I will travel to next. I do want to come back in the future to see more parts of this country. Thank you to those of you who are staying tuned, who have subscribed already. Do so if you haven't already, because come on, what do you have to lose? Also leave a like on the video here, and above all, be sure to take care and travel better.